All right, so good night, good evening, and I'm coming back from being in COVID lockdown, hopefully feeling better. And today we're going to work on one of the projects that I wanted to get done with you before, and it's sort of taking the some of the painted papers that we might have done before, just some of those ones that you had left over from that first few projects that we did, and doing something interesting with them where we do some weaving. And this means cutting up your paper or tearing up your paper and then doing a weave with it, kind of like a basket weave. So I've got a couple here for an example. This is one that I did in one of my classes. And I don't know, it's just kind of a nice way to sort of display the weaving. I don't like to be super precise with the weaving just because I think it's lovely to see the lines between them, and you can sort of play around with the spacing and stuff like that. So I've actually done several of them. This one's kind of nice because I actually tore the paper, and you can see there's a bit of a white edge on some of that paper as I tore it. Now with these ones, I was using book pages, like an old book that I paint on quite often.
The library is really going to be upset.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, so it's usually a discarded book. Anyway, and I have one on this side. No, I don't. I have one here that I've started working on, and it's not glued or anything, so it's still sort of in its finite sort of system here. Or anyway, what it's doing. What I did, well, I don't know how I did this while I was sick, but I cut up a couple of pieces and I did a weaving piece, and it's almost done. And
oh wow,
it's like little, I did like little pieces, and then I did some circular pieces and wove those in, and then other colors and stuff like that. So it's quite, and it's not glued or anything. I've just woven it, and it's pretty solid just this way. And
that's cool.
Yeah, like I kind of enjoyed doing it, even though I was sick with COVID, watching a billion movies. I'm kind of interested in, actually, I'm probably going to frame this and put it up for sale, just because I feel like it's
nice.
You know, I was able to come up with sort of like a focal point and create sort of like a look of one of my paintings without it being one of my paintings. So
It's like a big fish swimming on the surface of an ocean.
it is like a fish, isn't it?
Yeah. A whale or something. It's very lovely. I would never have thought of something like this.
Well, and I was just sort of playing around with it, and, because I'd done these other ones before, and I just wanted to see if I could take it a step further. So that's the piece that I'm probably going to frame up in maybe I'll do it in the next couple of days. I have a show this weekend, so maybe I'll try and get it in there. I don't know. So anyway, so you can rip or you can cut your papers, and you don't have to be super precise. With this one, I used a blade and a metal knife to make them super, super straight and super, super thin. But for this one, I'm not going to do that. I have this piece of paper that I've painted on and painted around and stuff like that. And I'm just going to do some cuts here. Oh, yeah. Bill's going to change the camera angle for me. Because then you don't have to look at my pale face. Ugh. And you could do just a normal sort of weaving pattern, or you could, sort of change the weave or add some other things into it also. Let me get a few of these cuts so that I kind of like this red that I'm doing, but I'm also I want to kind of get some of this sort of lighter color so that I have a difference between is it the weft and the wane?
White.
No, not the weft and the white.
The warp and the weft.
Warp and the weft? Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh, I guess the wane would be the moon thing.
Yeah.
Here I am going between weaving and moons.
So warp and weft are what you call the weave.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
warp is,
The
well,
warp is the lengthwise grain. And the weft is the back and forth
yeah,
grain, the
so,
stretchier grain.
yeah. So normally if you're doing a weaving, actually I have one here that I did, like a real weaving sort of thing. So this is a weaving I've worked on for years. Anyway, it's just a little guy, but this, the white, that's the warp that I'm weaving onto. And then the weft is, right? Warp, yeah. And then this is the stuff that I'm weaving into it, is the weft. Anyway, weft white, weft white. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a few of these for now, just so that I can start playing. Now, once I start with these, they will start to tighten up a little bit as I start doing the weaving. So I'm just going to sort of do the over and under kind of thing first. And then to the other. Get out of my way.
So you're using all just the same piece of paper. You're not using one piece for the warp and one for the weft.
Yeah, because my paper has different colors on it, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'm using the lighter colors to go the one way, and then the darker red to go
I see.
this way. I mean, I could use different papers, right? Because if I wanted to have like completely different colors, then that would work too. But once I have a few, and then I can tighten them up a little bit, it'll start to hold together a little bit better. It certainly did when I was using those little skinny ones with the purple one that I did there. It's like as soon as I had a few of them in there, it held together really nicely, and I was able to, start moving things around. And so I can pull these pretty straight. But I do like to show a little bit of, what's going on around them or in between them. And I'm just doing a straight sort of over under weaving at this point. But I could change that and it'll change the pattern a little bit or change what you see. It's more red. And I'm not being super careful with the thicknesses of these papers. I'm kind of changing them. They're not perfectly straight. They're not they're all different thicknesses. So once I have, go one more over and under. Let's see. Under and over. Under, over.
Around.
Nope, not around. Not yet. So then if I want to tighten this up a little bit, I can just start to pull these together. And they start to, get a little bit more solid, right? They're not floating around as much. I can sort of pick it up and manipulate it a little bit there. I can also do something where if I want to maybe go under and then over a whole bunch. I could do that too. And that would just add like almost just like a straight line of that red. And then it's just sort of changing that, you know, and that could be like a focal point in my piece where I'm all of a sudden I just sort of change what I'm doing with the weaving. And then I go back to the weave again.
When you do this, are you visualizing what it's going to look like, or do you just do it randomly and hope for the best, which is what I do? That's the reason I ask.
Yeah, no, I'm actually, I have no idea what it's going to turn out with because I am sort of just doing it randomly. And, you know, as I'm doing things, if I like a certain thing, then I might keep that. Or if I don't like something, I can pull it out again, right? Or adjust what I'm doing. You know, I can even, if I don't want it to be super wide, I could even just, you know, cut some of these and it was fun doing this with kids because sometimes the kids would just come up with these really unusual weaves that are just, I don't know where they got them from, or, you know, if their parents were doing it with them and all of a sudden they'd have like things would go diagonal or something. And I think I had in some of the examples that I sent out were some of the student ones that were done. They were really quite interesting. The other thing I want to do, so I've kind of got a bit of a, it's pretty normal looking, I guess, because it's just a weave. I have with me I have a little viewfinder. If you haven't got one of these like pre-cut mats, it's kind of nice just to have one, right? Just so that you can have a look and see what the design is looking like. There's something I want to do that's, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I want to try and create more of a focal point. I have that one piece that I did over top where it's not woven very much, but I want to do something else with it because I want to make it a little bit different than all the other pieces. So I'm going to try this and see what this looks like. So this is still off that same sheet, but there's a little blue area that I kind of like. And that makes it kind of a different sort of focal there. What if I did something like this? So I get some of these floating back in here. I mean, that kind of makes a nice little composition just with, you know, that blue line, changing the angle there. What do you think?
Nice.
I don't have a lot of white space on it, but I don't know if I need it. I like this blue line a lot. Pretty simple.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
lower
it looks good though.
The lower half looks like it's going somewhere, like it's got somewhere to be. And the upper
Yeah.
half is kind of your focal point.
I think mine is going somewhere too. It's growing legs and trying to crawl off my table
Is it? Moving around a bit.
a bit.
Can you show us, Elizabeth?
Just a second. I'm not fast like Karen. I only got 3 rows so far.
Oh,
Very nice. Very nice. I like your little cubes in your drawing. Was that a stamp or something that you marked out with the colors, or did you
Oh,
draw?
I had a piece of I just used this card stock and I put it on my easel when I'm painting, and I use it to clean my brushes off.
yeah.
And so I had a few of those, and then I just like doodled into one with, I did that actually just like half an hour before this started. And I just, drew some little cubes and some little doodles and some handwriting and stuff just to, I don't know, to see if I could make it a little bit more interesting.
And that's the thing, right? You get these colorful pieces of paper and it's like, well, you can do so much with them and just, play with them and see if you can create something new. Okay, I'm going to move this guy off to the side because I'm kind of happy with it. Just going to set him over here. And I just started cutting again. Hey, Jody.
Hey,
So Karen, you ratted me out to Sharon.
I told her she was a slave driver. She goes, what? And I said, you give Elizabeth so much work, she doesn't have time to do all my stuff I give her. And then she had a student show up at the show or something, and she was talking to the student, and she said something about, well, you got to do this and this and this and this. And then she came and she sat next to me, and I said, see, slave driver.
That particular 2-week span, she did have us working pretty hard. She gave us 2 weeks to do 6 paintings. Like, that was generous amount of time.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite get them done in 2 weeks, but I'll tell you, I was one of the first ones finished.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah, it took me about 2.5 weeks to get them done.
Oh my goodness.
Mind you, 2 of them I did 6 by 6.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to, even, though I was sick, I was trying to go through some of the canvases and stuff that I have here. And I mean, there was a really good sale on canvases before I got sick. And I said, I'm just not buying any more canvases until I finish a bunch of the ones that I have, because I have so many. And
Then
so
her pants got on fire.
I can attest to that.
I did not buy any canvases. And I worked basically while I was sick, and I was stuck in my basement, which is great because it was next to right down here with my studio. All I did was work on paintings very slowly.
Yeah, as you had energy.
Yeah. And I actually completed a few for the show this weekend. So
Great.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
So I was quite happy with that. And I just finished the last piece tonight. I just have to clear coat it. And then it's ready for the show also. So I cut these ones littler because I wanted littler ones.
So I missed the first part, Karen. Were you talking about using the same, cutting from the same painting page, or
Yep.
does mixing it up, or what?
You can mix it. I'm using from the same painting page because I have several colors on my page.
Mhm.
And I'm just sort of creating a little weave of those kind of things together. And I'm just doing pretty much a standard weave. Like I'm not,
Are there other kinds of weaves?
well, yeah, because I'm just doing like the over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. But you could go over, under two, over
Oh, yeah.
one, under two. You know, you can change up your weave a little bit like that.
Yeah.
In this example I did over here, I did one just where I wanted a nice straight line across.
Okay.
I did that. And I'm just, you know, I'm going to show these again really quickly. These are ones that I had done before. This is one that I had ripped the paper. So you've got a little bit of a white edge there.
That's nice.
And it's kind of nice. And this is,
And
again,
it looks, sorry, it looks kind of wavy. It really goes with that watery kind of look, actually.
it does, yeah. And I've used two different types of painted paper on this one. Okay, and then this one here is, it might also be two different pieces of paper, but this is a book. Leaving a little bit of white just to,
I like the offset aspect of that too. You know?
yeah, where it's not perfect, right? It's just a little bit off kilter.
Yeah.
And then this is one that I had started working on, but I haven't finished it. It's not put together or anything, but it's one that I had started a while ago.
Okay.
This is the one I worked on when I was sick. Is this one?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this one is, it's not glued or anything. So normally once I have these done, I'm going to glue them to the sheet that they're behind. This one's not glued because it's pretty tight. And then all these other elements are in there. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So you wove those spiral and circle and sort of wavy things in, huh?
I did.
And she went, wow.
Yeah. I wanted to see if I could create sort of, I did a whole bunch of the straight lines, but I also wanted to see if I could create some sort of a flow. And so even like here, this darker bit, they're not straight pieces. They're pieces that go up a little bit. So then I had to sort of weave in between them, and some of the weaves go through the circles. And so I was just thinking about different ways of weaving things.
Right.
But even like this little one is pretty little, but even just something like that makes a nice little composition.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's pretty simple. I could take now a different piece of colored paper and put it underneath there, I suppose.
Get really wowy.
Get really wowy. Oops.
Wowza.
Wowza.
Wow. Wowza. Spencer, it looks like you're just taking a break today.
He's chilling.
I'm afraid I don't have any painted pieces I could cut up and do this. So I'm learning, and I'll try this on my own time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your I can never, I guess I had first day beginner's luck. I did the best paintings the very first day I joined this class, and like the one that you got behind right now is beautiful. I seem to overdo my paints and tend towards brown, and I have to learn to back off. And
Oh, are you talking about this?
yeah.
Yeah, this is just me cleaning brushes.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, still, it's better than anything I do.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Spencer, I'm leaving with some stuff. Look at this. This is some that I hadn't cut out. So there's a fair bit of that kind of brownie thing going on there.
Okay.
I'm the king of brown.
Well, be inspired. You can make good things with brown too.
That's right.
You going to bed?
Yeah, it's just these classes are interesting because I just learned things that I would never think to be able to do. Just,
Mhm.
I
Just trying
knows
out
how-
things.
And who knows how they'll show up, really?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna.
I'm trying a combination of some old wallpaper that I have, which
Yeah.
varies in, like I've just cut it up so it's kind of loose, so it's not all super straight edges, but I'm combining that with my muddy brown. I'm seeing what's going on here.
That's good.
Because that's what I had in my art drawer.
Well, you use what you have and go from there. Okay, so now if I want to glue this down, this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. Because I don't necessarily want to lose the whole shape that I have. So,
You ever use spray, or does that leave too much glue in the empty or the open parts?
yeah, I actually hate spray glue, actually. I feel like it just gets everywhere.
Did
and-
I ever tell you my story about spray glue?
No.
Because I used to be a quilter and I bought a bottle of that spray basting glue.
Yeah.
And I used it on one quilt and it worked fine, just a small quilt. And I had still half a can left. So I took it outside and I turned it upside down and I sprayed it until the nozzle was clear, just like how they tell you.
Yeah.
And then the next time I went to use it, I sprayed it and then the nozzle wouldn't come up again and it just kept spraying and spraying.
Oh no.
And I took the nozzle off to try to get it to stop spraying. And then it was just coming out of the hole. It was just like
Oh,
squirting
no.
everywhere. And I was like trying to hold it in my hands and run with it. And it was, oh man, it was a nightmare. I had glue everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh my
And
gosh.
it's not water soluble.
Oh, it's horrible.
What a mess.
Oh, I know.
And I had to take it. I took it and I put it in the sink and the whole can sprayed away. So, and that was $20 for that can. And that was a number of years ago. And that was expensive.
Yeah.
And I will never buy spray glue again.
No, I don't like it. When I was taking interior design, sometimes people would use spray glue to spray on their assignments. And I just found that when I went to use it, it just got everywhere. And it was like, ugh, I hated it. And so I was better off using like rubber cement or whatever else I could get my hands on, but not spray glue. Ugh.
So Spencer, we learned something new right there, eh?
I learn something new every time I join.
Right, that's right. Don't buy spray glue.
I've used it a few times, but never with the same result Elizabeth just described. So
Oh, that's awful.
I've had better luck.
Well, I talk to a lot of people that go, oh, that's never happened to me.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not going to risk it.
Well, I do use that glue stick that Karen has in her hand right now, pretty much.
Yeah, I like this stuff. It's pretty good. Pretty easy to handle. And somebody was suggested, we were doing something in the frame shop or something, and they said, well, why don't you use some spray glue? And I said, no, that is not coming in the frame shop. Sorry. I'm not using spray glue in the frame shop. Forget it.
Let me tell you about my friend Elizabeth.
Yeah. I can imagine. Oh my God. Horrible. Anyway, so I'm not gluing down the whole thing. I'm just gluing the ends of my weaves, just because I just need really just to tack them down. I don't really need to have them super glued where I want them. And if I was doing this on like a cardstock that I'm going to frame, I would do the same thing. Although you could go back with, like Mod Podge or your gloss gel and do a coat over top of the whole thing just to seal it all down so you don't have any pieces flipping up or anything.
Yeah.
But again, part of the beauty of the fact that it's a weave, maybe you don't need that. Maybe it's okay for it to look like it's a weave.
Okay, so I'm finding as I do this, because it shifts around a lot, having like a little paperweight, like this stone that I painted a long time ago.
Yeah.
And kind of holds what I've got, right?
It will. And once you've got a few sort of pieces that are sort of together, it'll start to hold together a little bit better. Once you've got like a few runs of the back and forth weave.
Right.
The beginning was scary.
Was it scary?
Because we're not on a loom or anything, it's nothing holding it per se.
Yeah. But once you get those first few in there, then it starts to tighten up a little bit, and then you can.
I'm finding this is a good brain exercise, especially after having been doing taxes for days on end. This is
that what you do?
No.
Oh.
But I have to do my own. I have several streams of I have my own businesses, so business.
Oh.
Like I run a bed and breakfast, and we have a cottage rental, and I sell honey, and I have a studio and eggs, but of course the main thing is the bed and breakfast and the cottage rental. And I also, I'm a landlord of my husband's office. So I have all these things that I have to gather and, extract.
Oh, that sounds way too. I don't even do my own taxes, and I'm getting it ready. I don't do anything.
But
anyway, I sell a little art. That's all.
There you go. Well, anyway, this weaving is a welcome change from columns of numbers, reconciling statements.
Yeah. And I don't want to even do that, and I have to, but I don't want to. Ugh. Not this week.
Yeah, I put it off for a while, but I was having way too much fun in my studio, and time was marching on.
Yeah. That happens. Okay. So now I have one in my sketchbook because I like putting them in my sketchbook too. So.
Do you ever make cards with these, Karen?
You could. I haven't, but we could. Just because I keep making.
Finished.
Oh,
wow. You're fast.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Well, this helped.
Yep.
What is that?
It's a rotary cutter.
Yeah.
Like I said, I used to be a quilter.
Oh, right.
And so I used this for my fabric, but now it pretty much is an art rotary cutter.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't.
But I love it. I love it for, I use it. I find I'm using it all the time.
For making strips and stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Is this something where you have to change the blade? You've got a little blade that you
you can, but I have a sharpener. So I run it through the sharpener every now and again, but it doesn't have to be that sharp to cut paper, not like when you're cutting fabric. So it still works pretty good even when it's dull.
I think I have one of those sharpeners somewhere for a rotary cutter. I wonder where I put it. It's probably somewhere safe.
Definitely safe.
Yeah.
I think it was actually Bill's mom's because she was a quilter.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. It's probably in with my sewing stuff.
It's
No.
probably good that Brenda's not on today because she'd be saying, "You have that?
Probably.
I should have that."
Yeah, she should. But you know what? Actually, no.
Probably got her own.
She probably has her own.
3 of them.
Yeah, she might even have 3.
This is kind of interesting with the.
Did I miss the class where you made shakers out of light bulbs?
No, we're gonna do that.
Oh,
Have you got some light bulbs?
no, I was just wondering if you took that giant bulb out of your box in your hallway that you talked about.
I got 2 bulbs waiting, just waiting.
Okay, well, actually, I didn't take that big giant bulb out of the box. It's in my garage, and I was taking some stuff out there the other day, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I got to bring it back down to my studio again." So, 'cause it's big. So, yeah,
A 2-handed shaker.
it'd be a 2-handed shake. It certainly would be. Yeah,
Oh,
a little big
The
one.
mother of all shakers.
I have a mother of all shakers happening. I even have one that I think I did one where it's a ball. I started making one with a ball, but I haven't finished it.
Like what kind of ball?
A round ball.
Are you sure it wasn't a triangular one? No, I mean, what is it made out of?
Your kickball or
Might be a balloon.
Soccer ball, football. What?
so I just turned my weave over to glue it. And one of my papers I had paint on both sides and the other was just white.
Yeah.
And now I like this side.
Oh,
I don't know which side I like better.
Ah,
yeah, I can see that, right?
that's cool.
what
This
do you
is my
have in,
shaker
Well,
ball.
that's case in point where you really mix it up with.
what is that made out of?
Well, it's paper mache right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but what kind of ball was it?
I think it was probably a balloon. Anyway, it's been sitting in my shaker bin.
So on your weave, your strips, you have all that little patterning stuff. Do you have something that you press on top of your paints when you do that, or do you have a tool that you kind of jiggle around in your wet paints to make it?
These little patterns on
Yeah,
mine.
you have those little squiggly patterns. Like when you had your bigger sheet of paper before you started cutting it up, I noticed all those patterns. Are you using that with
Yeah.
something? Yeah. Are you laying something in wet paint, or are you doing that more manually with a tool or something?
This is
Yeah, it's got a kind of nice quality to it. Brindle
Yeah.
almost.
so when I was doing bookbinding many years ago, this is actually one of those bookbinding papers that I would have used to make a cover. And I was making covers with wheat paste.
Oh,
And it's kind of a fun way to make decorative papers with wheat paste. And wheat paste is pretty much the same as what we're going to use paper mache for, but you add color to it, and then you use things to make patterns on the paper.
sounds like another Tuesday night, Karen.
It does. It's just that, like, I can sit here and I can show you how to make tons of wheat paste paper, but then I got to figure out what to do with the paper after you make the wheat paste paper because I have tons of it.
But we don't.
Because I was making
Well,
and I was making books out of these with Mom.
Yeah.
So that's just, wheat paste paper is just kind of a fun thing.
Does that look of interest to you, Spencer?
Yeah. I mean, I just, it's all interesting. It's all stuff that's way outside of my normal thinking pattern. So I like seeing the bold, vigorous, bright colors and the patterns you guys come up with.
The so not brown stuff.
I'm kind of like a kid in a candy shop, you can't make your own candy, so you just kind of watch other people do it.
Okay. All right. Well, we could do a whole session on wheat paste and doing wheat paste paper. There's so many techniques on how to make decorative papers or decorative. One of the things I really love doing is the decorative tissue paper. Whew, so much fun.
Oh,
But we could spend hours, and some of the things that I struggle with is that I have all these really great techniques, but it's like having a nice finished project for you guys at the end is kind of nice. But I can't always expect to have that. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of decorative paper. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but I can show you how to make a whole bunch of it. It's like the bags, right? The bags that I was melting before, and I did do a piece with a melted bag. My melted bags. I showed you all the melted bags.
Now that reminds me of the exhibition we saw in New York City of Alberto Burri, right? Karen,
Yes.
remember?
Yes.
At the Guggenheim?
Yes. I just sold one of my pieces based on him.
Cool.
Yeah, Jody and I went.
That's somebody to look up. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to see Alberto Burri's display in New York, and we just loved it because it's found objects and melted plastic and stuff like that. But it was lovely. And when I got home, I did a whole series of pieces based on Alberto Burri, and I put them in shows. Hadn't sold them. Took one to the show last week, and I sold it.
Excellent.
Yeah. It was.
Well,
I
the
sold
show.
a painting this week.
Did you?
Oh,
Nice.
Yes. I sold my swan.
Very good.
It was one of my more expensive pieces.
That's great. That's always satisfying when you can sell something.
Yes.
I know.
did you know the person that bought it?
I did, yeah.
That's nice.
I haven't sold many pieces to people I don't know. Or I shouldn't say that, because I've sold a lot to people I've met on the internet, but I don't know them in real life.
Okay. I don't sell much on the internet, but I sell to people
I'm
who.
hoping to,
Yeah.
but I have to get my website together.
Yeah. I still don't sell to a lot on the internet.
You get a lot of weird requests.
I get a lot of weird requests.
Like, what kind of weird?
That's nice, Karen.
Send it to us. We will pay
Yeah,
it.
that is nice.
Yeah.
What?
I like your art piece, and they give me the title of the art piece. Please send it to me right away. And then it's not.
Oh,
And then next week they'll send me another piece that they like the piece and it's not real.
Oh.
Or you get the gallery saying, you should join our gallery in New York. It's a really great gallery.
Yeah,
It costs you $5,000 to join our gallery.
yeah.
oh, that was what
Yeah.
that one was.
Yeah, it's what do they call those galleries?
Fake galleries.
No, it's not a fake gallery.
Vultures.
No, Bill, there's a name for them.
Pop up?
No, because I started reading about them, and they were saying that if you're a part of one of those galleries, that other galleries wouldn't take you seriously because you've been a part of this, where you pay to be in a gallery.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't remember.
You're not there on your merit. You're there because you paid. So
Because you
they're
paid, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's a self. Oh, what is it? It's a. You know when you're pumping up yourself, or
Self-promoted.
not self-promoted. It's kind of like that though. Anyway, and they say if you're part of a vanity gallery, it's called a vanity gallery.
Oh,
That's what
like an artist collective.
I don't think so. I don't
No?
think it's considered an artist collective. It's a vanity gallery where you pay the gallery to be in their gallery. And that's why it's considered a vanity gallery. And if
Mm,
you are part of a vanity gallery, then a regular gallery won't take you seriously.
mm.
And so here's my dilemma. The chances of a serious gallery taking me
Serious.
seriously, it's just not going to happen. Like, I just don't think a gallery would ever decide that I'm important enough to be in a New York gallery. So me joining a vanity gallery might not necessarily be a bad thing. I don't think a normal gallery would ever take me on.
Yes, you're not really risking anything.
Yeah. So like, really, what am I risking? Because the chances of another gallery, finding me.
You're up. Yeah.
You're risking 5,000 to join.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe I end up with a following, right? And it's like, so
5,000 lot.
yeah, but that's just the starting costs, right? It's like 5,000 for this level, and then 10,000 for this level, and
Oh man.
right.
It just sounds like something that sucks you in.
To me, it's just people who prey on artists. What's the difference between that and all the people on Instagram? And whenever you post on Instagram, and they're like vultures. They like DM me with your work for only $200 a year. We'll feature you on our website, and we have 200,000 fake followers. I mean, followers.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, yeah, it's sort of a funny thing, right? You just don't really know where you can start to trust those kind of things. Like when people
Yeah.
ask for your art while you're online and stuff like that, it's that trust factor. So,
Have you ever thought about doing kind of more white strips over top of kind of a colored sheet, where your strips would be very thin, and you might have wider spaces so that the pattern that you would see would be the background?
oh, that'd be really cool. So then
That's-
you'd be sort of highlighting the negative space
Something like that.
between your
Oh,
white.
yeah.
Something
Oh,
like
I
that.
like
Good idea.
That's an
Yeah.
excellent.
So take your decorative painted piece of paper
Browns.
behind, and then
Your
do
muddy
white-
browns.
or your browns, and then do the white paper on top. That could be really
That could be gorgeous.
it could be really gorgeous, right? Especially if you're struggling with those browns, right? Put the browns behind and then the whites on top, and then it's sort of
Just a thought.
Here's okay, I'm riffing off that a little bit. What if you used, get this, like tracing paper, so you have this levels of translucence over a
piece of
painted.
paper or vellum or something, right? Something
Yeah,
a little bit translucent.
Yeah, wouldn't that? And
Cool.
then wherever it double masks it when it crosses over, so that could be really gorgeous.
Oh, the brown.
I
There.
like it.
See, this
You
is where
guys are
we get
just
to
getting out of control.
we just start to share all these ideas.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
want to do one like that right now.
I know. Gotta go
But I
get some
can't.
vellum.
I got my hand in this one.
So, yeah, I gotta finish this one.
Yeah, me too. You feel
Oh my
sort
God.
of there's a level of commitment to this, right?
Yeah. Well, and this is part of what we like to do here is sort of, throw out ideas and then sort of work towards them and give each other ideas.
Okay, so here's another thought. What have you, or what about trying to incorporate some threads or something,
Well, you could do that, right? Like I did that with,
some gold thread or something, just, lay it alongside of one of the pieces of paper or something?
yeah, like I have this one so this one has,
Plastic.
it's got paper in it. It's got this yarn, but then it also has these pieces of painted plastic that were part of one of my series that I did.
Hmm.
But I haven't quite figured out.
Yeah,
what
that's cool.
Yeah, it's been sitting in this stupid frame for a couple of years now. I haven't quite decided what to do with it.
Some things are like that. They just got to sit for a while.
Yeah, they sit for a long while. So, yeah. Percolate those ideas.
Mhm.
Just gluing this one down as best I can.
I haven't got to the gluing yet.
Just tacking at this point. Ugh.
That looks great with all those colors. Mine, Spencer, mine is definitely looking the muddy. It's the muddy.
Well, there's many shades of brown, so
Is true. Is true.
when I do too many layers of paint, that's when it really goes to brown.
Yeah.
I don't have any clue what two colors of paint I can put over top of one another. And so I end up just ruining everything to brown. So
You know, I felt
lack
that
of,
way.
lack of experience and knowledge.
The color wheel is a helpful thing sometimes with that.
Well, being colorblind and being color stupid, probably the latter is more important. I just, I can have them, and I've used them, and I just what it is.
Yeah.
Leslie's got the art talent in my family, so I'm happy with that. It's nice to learn all this stuff.
Yeah. You know, I found, you know, when I used to do watercolor in school, and I struggled with it because it just seemed like every time I was mixing colors, I was getting brown and I get mud. It's basically my watercolors would be muddy. So that's why I never really pursued watercolor for me. But I do like just getting the paint right out of the pot. So I do a lot of that.
Sometimes, Spencer, if I paint something and I decide I don't like the color of it and I want to cover it, and I know that acrylic is going to be fairly transparent, is I'll paint over that part with white or with gesso and let it dry, and then repaint just that section, and then it'll come up bright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good idea.
Okay. I do like this little piece here.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
It's a very happy piece.
It is quite happy. Just gonna cut these off. Forgive me. All right. There.
Very cute.
It's very cute. And then I got all these little bits that I can put into paintings. I can't throw those out. I mean, these are happy. These are
Nothing wasted.
Yeah. Ways.
I'm putting those little bits to use right now because I did this side, right?
Yeah.
But
like
then
that.
I like the other side, so I made a frame around it, and then I'm using the little bits in the corners, see?
I see that. That's awesome. All right, Jody, what have you got that you can show us? Do you have anything?
Oh, okay. It's not done, but I think I can lift it up, and it sort of looks kind of old fashioned because it's got that kind of faded wallpaper brown kind of thing going on. So let me just, and it's still kind of tight. I might sort of pull it apart a little bit so that it kind of loosens up.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that.
That's nice.
That is looking nice.
So it's got, some of that wallpaper
Yeah,
in here
in there.
combined with the muddy paint.
And that's not a bad thing either, right? To have, like if you have scrapbooking paper or something like that, it's sort of like a man-made paper in with or machine-made paper, I guess, in with your hand-painted stuff would give it a little bit of that tension. So
Yeah.
nice. All right. So I think actually next week we will start with paper mache. So if you guys have light bulbs and sticks, I will put that list together.
Well, I got flour and water, so I'm good to go.
Excellent. Flour and water. Bill, can you switch the view for me?
I don't know. That's a long ways to go.
Oh, he's got to come all the way over here again. So, yeah, so flour and water. I'll probably send out a little note about how to make your paste and a supply list. And
What was I just looking at? That was interesting. Is that one of your art pieces?
Yes.
I think it was actually.
It was.
Here, we'll just do this again.
Yeah. Wow,
Isn't that
that's
nice?
cool. Yeah, that's
My
nice.
little ones. Yeah. So anyway, I'll show you the last piece that I did for my show for the weekend. This is the piece that's
Did anyone from this group, I know Spencer, you're not there, and nor am I, were you able to go to Karen's show?
You got
No,
quiet.
because and then I got sick, so I wasn't
Yeah.
there. So anyway,
Yeah, I wasn't able to go. I had other stuff going on that weekend.
this is the last piece that I'm getting completed for my show
Oh, wow.
the weekend. So
That looks great.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I just had to
Let's see
finish.
it. Show it on the back too there, Karen. Sort of turn it a bit. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm just going to clear coat it and then it's ready to go
So
into the show.
that was a guitar, or did you make that?
It was a guitar, a damaged guitar.
Hmm.
So I take broken guitars and I paint them. So, or violins or basses. I have a cello that I'm working on for the last forever.
Or a Russian mandolin, right? Bella like it. That's
I don't know if I'm going to paint that mandolin. There's nothing wrong with it.
no, actually, sorry, I was wrong. It's a Bella Leica that I brought
Like
back. Soviet Union.
yeah, here's the bass that Bill is bringing that I've been working on for a long time.
Your studio must be like twice the size of my apartment.
It's very crowded.
No,
To have
Probably
all
not.
that stuff in it.
It's
it's
just very
full of
crowded.
stuff.
Doesn't everybody have one of these lying around?
Yeah, that one's for charity, so I gotta finish that one someday. So, but anyway,
That's awesome.
so I think we're pretty much done. I'm gonna finish my little pieces up. I might actually put them in the sale this weekend. Might be fun. Oh yeah. I have
What
to
the
do-
little the weaving pieces?
Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah.
See what kind of
See how
frame
it goes.
And yeah, this one. I think this one I do want to get into the show, so we'll see if I have time. I have to frame it tomorrow.
So, and everybody was taking notes, right? Because I'm trying to recall if I hit the record button before I came back downstairs.
Well, we'll see. Our brains are not working at 100%
We
capacity
are not peaked.
in this house. I don't know why.
Kind of- that's part of it.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a good week. If you can make it to the Triwood Community Center for the show, you're welcome to come by. I'll be there Friday night and
Sleeping
Saturday.
underneath the table.
Probably sleeping under the table.
Mhm.
Anyway, we'll see. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. We'll start paper mache. That'll be fun. So, yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a good
Right.
night, okay?
Thanks, Karen.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Karen.
Karen.